Welcome to the Speak and Flow podcast, where we dive into the strategies to help you and your team unleash the power of their voice and achieve maximum potential and flow. My name is Melinda Lee, and I am your host. Today's topic is so near and dear to my heart because it's about unlocking flow. Many people are still wondering, what does it mean? So I've dedicated this episode to define it, to talk about the science around it, talk about why it's important today, and as well as who are the leaders out there that have demonstrated flow, because it is possible. Some of you may be thinking, what is it even possible to access flow? I mean, what is it? So flow is activating your peak performance. It is known as the zone. So when you are immersed in something and you're so focused, laser focused, everything around you seems to disappear. The time seems to fade away because you're just immersed. Distractions are no longer there. Have you ever felt that? Whether you're playing with your child or playing an instrument or immersed in a sport, that feeling that you get when you just feel natural, at ease, and you're performing so creatively. In neuroscience, they've studied that when you're in flow, our brain waves start to slow down. Normally, when we are doing a lot, there's a lot going on, there's lots of distractions, complications. I mean, in today's world, we have so much information. We have so much coming at us. It starts to bring overwhelm and distractions from ourselves. It starts to be we start to have concerns about others and what's going on in the world. And so therefore our brain waves are constantly in beta. They're in this rapid pace of moving beta waves. But scientists and sports psychologists and psychologists have found flow to have our brain waves slow down. So even in all this distraction and all the complexity, our brain waves are slowed down. We're in creativity. We're in innovation. We're in peace and acceptance. That is flow. And it is possible to access flow even amongst chaos and complexity and ambiguity. That is the truth. And that is the science. When leaders today are accessing flow, you're in connection with yourself and with others. And this is important for us leaders because we're going to have so much more come at us. So we need to constantly go within us to access this place of peace and calm. And so imagine you as a leader with all of your leadership team and the people around you in flow, in resilience, in creativity, even when there's high pressured situations, because it's accessible within all of us. And so when your team is there with you, representing the face of your company, talking to people, your clients, potential partners, team members in flow, their doubt is gone. The prefrontal cortex, which is known to ask a lot of questions. What if this goes wrong? And criticize. What if it starts to say something like, what if you stumble on your words? What if you can't connect with them? What if they judge you? So all of these thoughts are separating from you and flow. So what if, imagine your leadership team no longer had that? How much more could you do? How much more could the company do? Each of your leadership team, the members within them, are building your company in flow, in confidence, in clarity. That is when you build relationships. And that is when you're having strong relationships with your people and with clients. That is why it is so important today, because things are going to move really quickly. And we need to be able to access our own flow in chaos and complexity. And people do it all the time. Sports psychologists have found Serena Williams in flow. When there's distraction, when there's a lot coming at her, there's cameras everywhere, and she's still able to be in the zone. and focus, laser focus on the competitor, on the game, and be free flowing and move gracefully and quickly and think on her feet, even when she doesn't know what's about to happen. She's so fast. Barack Obama, known as one of the great orators, even if you don't support Barack Obama, you can see that the way he speaks, people are judging him. People are criticizing him. There's distractions everywhere, and yet he's in the zone. When he's speaking, I call it speaking in flow, because the words are natural, because his body language is natural, even in this complex environment, he's still able to speak confidently, clearly, and move people, inspire people, because it's his energy that he's tapped into, that he's bringing forth from in here to out around him. How cool is that? It has been done before, and I want to encourage you that you can do it too. And how do we bring this to our daily lives? Well, first, acknowledge that it is possible. 2, start to put yourself in situations that will allow you to open up flow. Because if we're consistently in this comfort space and we're not putting ourselves out there, then you wouldn't have the opportunity to even try to access flow. So put yourself in these uncomfortable situations. It doesn't have to be situations that are completely out of reach and the risk is so high that you're completely scared. But put yourself in that zone or in that place where it's just a bit of a stretch and it's uncomfortable, and you can therefore practice that muscle of accessing flow within you, a place of creativity and calm. And when you're in this uncomfortable situation, go into noticing your body. And when you may start off really tense and afraid, and when you notice your body is feeling tense or tight, or there's butterflies, then you breathe and remind yourself to go into calm and flow and connection. And then it may go away, and then you might need to do it again. So placing high awareness and self-awareness of your own body will then allow you to self-regulate. Self-awareness means access to self-regulation. So placing awareness of what is happening inside of you and around you, and reminding yourself that you're safe within you and around you. That will help you to breathe into it and access your flow. And when you're in flow, your brain waves are calm. You can start to be creative. You can start to be immersed in the situation and step into your greatness and your confidence and courage, speaking from truth, of wisdom, of connection to your audience, allowing for that space of pause to come in. Practice doing that. There's opportunities every single day. Because as I mentioned, we are in a time of complexity, of ambiguity. And remember, in this exact time, when we are in this chaos of misinformation, of things moving so quickly, we can then turn inward to go into flow, to a place of peace, acceptance, and knowing that you are right where you need to be, and reminding yourself that all is well. Access your flow, and that's how you unlock your flow. I'm going to have a next episode of how when our doubt comes in, what to do with it. Because it is those doubts, the thoughts that come in our prefrontal cortex, that therefore block your flow. So what do we do in that moment when that happens? So stay tuned for that next episode. But until then, I hope you have a better understanding today of what does flow mean? It's the zone, and the science behind it, what is happening in our brain waves, so that we can learn how to access more flow and know when we're not in flow. And finally, giving you some practical strategies and tips to start to exercise that muscle, stretch yourself, and give yourself more opportunities to be in the state of flow, even in all this complexity. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you do, like, comment, engage. I want to hear from you. Until I see you next time, I am your sister in flow. May prosperity flow to you and through you, and use your voice to bring people together, to say, I love you, to create community and support. Until next time, take care. Thanks for joining the conversation today. Are you curious on how you measure up with your ability to speak in flow? Come grab my free self-assessment at https://speakinflow.com/assessment. And I'll see you on the other side.